right. Good evening. I'm going to do a little Avara development tonight. A little bit of. Well, okay. So, my mission tonight is to try to make it so that custom hole colors are a thing. And a little bit of backstory. In the original game, well, okay, let me back up or fast forward or whatever. But, one of the things that has prevented me from doing custom hole colors up until this point is that in a team game situation, it would be difficult to know who was on what team. And I had an epiphany, I don't know, a week ago maybe, about how we might be able to go about doing that. And so I actually have a check in place now that I actually just merged in tonight that tries to deduce whether or not it is a team game, or whether a player should be able to have a special hole color, and it accomplishes that by checking the incarnator or walker objects in a level file. And let me show you what that might look like. Let me open up the level here. I'll go with let's just look at AA normal, or sorry, AA abnormal, and we'll look at arsenic here. Let me go ahead and do that. So incarnator objects are what spawn players in, but there are things called walker objects that take precedence over incarnator objects if they are viable to place a user in. And walker objects can do different things than incarnators. They can assign the number of lives given to the player. That's that's honestly the main one that springs to mind. There's actually more sensible ways to do that. But you can see that here, like teams 4, 5, and 6 are given 0 lives, but everybody else is given whatever this K default lives value is set to, which is, I'm sure, up here somewhere, perhaps. K default lives 100. So, anybody that's initially spawns into this walker object is given 100 lives. And that only applies to teams 1, 2, and 3, which are green, yellow, and red. And then after games start, everything just ends up going back to incarnator objects. Walkers are ignored, as I recall. And so, once you spawn, you're given 100 lives. When you die, you just fall back to using those incarnator objects. But anyway, so the code that I wrote checks to see if the player starts the game in a masked incarnator or walker. And what I mean by that is that it is assigned to a specific team. So here you can see, team 1, team 2, team 3. And if they spawn or start the game in one of those, in a position that is masked like that, they are it infers, okay, this is a team game. I should not let this player be a special color. And so that's one way that I check. The other way is a situation where, that doesn't cover the scenario where people just like elect to be on teams, like if they're playing doubles or whatever, and in a normally FFA sort of map. And so for that, I just very simply check to see, hey, does this person have a teammate? And if they have at least one teammate, then again, they're not allowed a special color. And this, in my testing, has worked pretty well. There are a couple weird cases, like Waldor World Arena, for whatever reason, has masked spawn points in it. One for each team, 1 through 6. Side note: we now have 8 teams. There's a lot of team levels that are kind of poorly constructed in that way that it's very explicitly assumes, and back then it was a safe assumption that there was only 6 teams, but it's kind of a problem now. Anyway, Waldor World Arena, has 1 Incarn per team, so it's like, I guess he wanted to force people to play at FFA, essentially. Wanted it to be a free-for-all. But you can also... there's also like a 2-team version and a 3-team version, but those team versions don't have any code in place for handling people that are not on those teams. So it's very odd. I suspect that they were written, the way that they were written probably worked just fine back in the day, because we didn't have random incarnators and the reason that Head created the random incarnator feature is that there are 8 players, or up to 8 teams, up to 8 players now, and most levels only had like 6 slots. And so in order to support those extra players in legacy maps, if there's nowhere for these other players to spawn, he just kind of creates these random incarnators and slots them in. And so I suspect that that's kind of what's going on, and why I can play those team levels without issue. It's I'm sure as designed it was not meant to do that, but they just didn't anticipate the game evolving in this direction. And so there's questions about what to do about that, but that's not what I'm going to be working on tonight. So I've mentioned that people can't play as special colors in those scenarios, and I use that terminology because it does actually do something. I want to enable people to do custom colors. And in fact, I actually recently made it so that they can change their cockpit and gun colors. And I can show that real quick. So yeah, I don't know. We'll do that real quick. Sure, why not? We'll do this level. So I have a lighter blue cockpit and actually lighter gray guns, and I can change that via the prefs file or the pref chat command in the game. But yes, what I was saying is that yes, the team level detection or team game detection actually does do something right now because this is the history lesson or whatever the background information I was going to give at the top of the stream. The original game allowed registered users to put 2 or 3 spaces after their name, and if they put 2 spaces after their name, their hole would be black, and if they put 3 spaces after their name, the hole would be white. So I just put 2 spaces after my name, and now I'm black, as is my scout. And if I have 3 spaces after my name, I'm white. However, if I go to I did it again. Let's load up Arsenic. We're green, which is a valid team. When I start the game, I am actually green, even though I have 3 spaces after my name. So we are restricting the player and forcing them to be their team color in this scenario now. And that lays the groundwork that in sort of conjunction with my recent work on cockpit and gun colors for enabling us to make the whole, in most cases, able to have a custom color without causing gameplay issues in terms of identifying who is who and on what team, specifically what team they're on. Who's who is not necessarily as as much of a problem as identifying who you should and should not be shooting at. So with all this setup, I should be able to do that. Which also means having the ability or maintaining this Easter egg with 2 to 3 spaces after the name no longer really makes any sense, because if we allow them to change their color to anything, there's no reason to have this. I mean, it's a good historical Easter egg, but other than that, it's just kind of, in my mind, extra code and not really desirable. And I would rather replace the team colors for Team 7 and Team 8 with the sort of historic special black, special white colors, so that the history of the game is still reflected that way, and also making the team colors a little bit more distinct, because I think whether it's colorblind mode or not, I think the new colors are not as distinguishable from each other. I mean, there's pink and purple are already sometimes hard to identify at a glance, and so I would rather Team 7 and 8 be a little bit more distinct, and black and white would certainly be distinct from these other colors. So I think I'm going to not only enable custom colors, but I'm also going to remove the 2 to 3 space after your name trick, replace the orange and teal, or actually I think it's actually, like in the code, I think it's called lime, even though it's far from lime looking. But yeah, I'm gonna replace those colors with the black and white colors from the original, and then enable setting of custom hole colors and get those transmitted over the wire, much like the cockpit and gun colors are now. I think that's pretty much covered everything. There's other stuff that's kind of tangentially related that we may tackle at the same time, and I'll point those out as we come across them. But I've just been ranting now for looks like about 15 minutes, so I think it's time to get started coding. Actually, just in case anybody wants to talk while I'm streaming, I'm going to go ahead and hop on some Discord voice here. But, all right. So, let's get started. First of all, I'm going to pull, just in case, even though I literally was just pushing changes up and whatnot, but yeah. Okay, so I have the latest main. I'm going to start a new branch. I'm going to call it custom hole colors. Now let's switch back over to Xcode. Now, the first thing, actually, before I do that, okay, good. I just wanted to make sure that it didn't, me setting the syntax coloring here didn't create, did I not? Okay, I figured it out, I guess. Kind of strange. Didn't he? Hold on. I'm a little confused. Yeah, this shouldn't be here anymore. Line 569. Oh, that's different, I guess. Okay, never mind. Yeah. All right. All right. Let me close a bunch of stuff here. I think I actually just closed a bunch of stuff that I didn't actually want to close. But let's start by making the color manager changes. Again, files I just closed. But okay, so let me open this. And so color manager is, for those who are not aware, is kind of the 32-bit color constant store, or it helps. I don't know. It's the sort of central repository for color data that historically was maybe stored in like the resource fork in the original game, but it allows me to do things like change colors based off of UI colors based off of whether colorblind mode is on or not. And so I'm going to, some of the stuff that's in here, special white color, special black color, right? And so I'm actually going to start off by grabbing the special black color, and I'm going to go to the team colors and replace the orange with the black color. I will come back to this, and I'll come back to that too. Oh, here, okay, here it says teal. Used to say lime, I think, but anyway. Message colors, pink colors, colorblind mode, set colorblind. Okay, so here, team colors 7, black, team color 7, black, team color 7, black, team color 7, black, And I think that's all I really need. Red alpha, that shouldn't affect that. So I mislaunched. Okay. So that's that. Special white color. And we'll replace the teal color with that. Text colors we're going to ignore for now. Team color names we're going to ignore for now. Colorblind mode. Team color 8. White. Team color 8. White. Team color 8. White. Team color 8. White. Yep. Really, it's an off-white. Okay, I think that's good there. Now we will change the color names to black and white. The text colors for black should be white, but then this dark gray is fine on top of white. And I think that's not all. That's not all here, because we also want to remove special black color, special white color, properties and methods. And I'm just going through to make sure I don't, inadvertently miss something. I think that's right, because the number of, this should all be good, I think. And here we can take out special black color, special white color. Again, we're just removing all references to that. So this is going to be a code breaking change in the short term, until I remove anything that references those old black and white color methods. There should be some, here we go, up here too. No member names, etc. I did just delete those 2 lines, yeah? Okay. Just making sure. Okay. So color manager changes, I believe, are done. Now, let's go ahead and search for references to those methods just in Player Manager, it seems. Special color control. Space count. Gosh, where am I even doing that? Set special color. Well, that's actually probably something I want to keep around. Shoot. Now I wonder if I should have... Maybe we keep that around. Ugh. Let's go ahead and do that. And we'll remove that in a second. But I still feel like... Shoot. Yeah, no, I think that's the appropriate place to put this actually, because we want to still treat the whole color as a special case, and distinct from the handling of the cockpit color or the gun color, because cockpit and guns we can change no matter what, but we only want to change the whole color if it's not a team game scenario. Which is what this code does, right here. So I think that that's good. We only want to call special color control if we think it's appropriate, and we'll just change the way that is implemented shortly. When I make the requisite changes. But for now, I'm going to search for space count here because I don't think we need it anymore, quite frankly, because we're removing that functionality. This is what... Okay, yeah. Last... Okay, so we don't really need this. Player name. Celeste char is only used in this function for this purpose, and I don't quite follow some of this here, but I'm sure if I stared at it long enough, I would understand what it's doing. But I don't really feel the need to figure that out. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this, and this. Shoot. Hold on a sec. Player name. I actually think I'm going to keep this as is because I think player name, yeah, that's a property of the class, and I believe this is essentially storing the stored version of the player name without spaces. Um, and so it's essentially doing like an R trim on the player name, um, I believe. And so I don't think I want to actually mess with that. Obviously, the space count doesn't really matter anymore for the purposes of whole coloring. But I don't really feel compelled to um, change this. I'm sure it could probably be done simpler, um, but um, I think I'm just gonna leave it. Um, I need to grab more tea, but I think before I do that, I should be in a spot now where I can um, build the game without problems, I think, and we can test to just make sure that Team 7 and 8 are black and white. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to clean the build, do a clean build here, and I'll be right back. Oh. I have returned, and apparently the build succeeded, so let's go ahead and test it. Here they are in the drop down. It's funny how unblack it looks here. Okay, so I have 2 spaces after my name, but I should still be green because that should no longer be a thing that happens because we've commented out the relevant lines in special color control. Yeah. So that was 2 spaces. Let's just try 3 for good measure. Yep, still doesn't do anything. And oh, did I mix up the text colors? I might have. No? Boy, that selected color doesn't work too good. Okay, so the text color for this team color does not look right. And I thought I had changed that. Whoops, wrong thing. But let's look in color manager. Oh, do I not have? Okay, there it is. Let's just move that closer. That. Oh, you know what it is? Okay, I know what it is. I actually have to change that in all the colorblind things too, because it explicitly sets everything whenever you set the colorblind mode, which actually happens on whenever the game starts. So whatever I have those defaults up there end up getting overwritten. So that is what happened there. Oops. Okay, so that should fix that. But let me team text colors 7. White, white, white. Wait, I don't think that's working. White, 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 white. Interesting. Oh, probably because, yeah, okay. Yeah. Sorry, I was just looking at the team text color 6. But yes, the whole point is that I can change colors as needed to be... well, that's interesting that I wonder if this one should be... Because I don't know. I will trust that I did that correctly for now. I would have to use my colorblind simulator to see why I changed the text color for Tritonopia. Because I think for the most part the team colors on Tritonopia colorblind mode are the same as the defaults. But anyway, let's run it with those changes, but that should fix it. I would be very surprised if it didn't. But I was surprised to see the problem in the first place. So, sometimes developers forget to do things. All right. So confirm that, yep, the spaces don't matter. All right, white text, black background, and a black hole. And if I set it to white, beautiful. Okay. So, now black and white will continue to be enshrined in the game. Which I think is appropriate, personally. But let me just double check in C-HUD that it... That's funny how you can basically not see it. The black and the little HUD down there. But anyways, we've actually had discussions lately about maybe reworking the way the HUD is designed or laid out. But that's not what we're doing here tonight. So, actually, let me... I feel like there was... Oh, that's right. It's like when you're spectating that it highlights the other player's name. So actually, let me... Well, no, I'm not going to worry about that. I'm pretty confident that it's correct. So, this is good. I'm trying to think if I'm forgetting anything. I mean, I know I still need to enable the custom colors and send them over the network and change the implementation of special color control, but I feel like I had a checklist of a few things I wanted to do. But I think, two of the items that I initially enumerated were, yes, making Team 7 and 8 black and white and removing the spaces relevance to colors, which I've effectively done. So, I think I'm in a good place to start hacking on the custom colors. And so to do that, first of all, okay, so player manager, that's where special color control is. Yes. 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 But then the abstract players where you set the special color, and that is what actually does the part replacement, the color replacement. So the player manager, does it have access to... Well, we'll figure it out in a little bit. So what I was going to do, actually, let's make the changes to preferences first. So right now we've got this cockpit color and gun color, but I want to also define K player. Should I call it whole color? Should I call it base color? I'll say whole color, I guess. What's the definition of whole? Webster's Dictionary defines whole as the main body of a ship or other vessel, including the bottom sides and deck, but not the mast. Yeah. So, I think that's appropriate. Player whole, color tag, whole color, and so something else I haven't touched on. As a aside, the way the cockpit and gun color replacements work was actually a side effect or artifact of how I decided to implement another change, which was I wanted model creators or level designers to be able to have models that had more possibilities for color replacements. In the original game, you could place objects that used models, 3D models. Essentially, yes, you're placing a 3D model in the world, and because the drawing, because the level file was a drawing, it was a picked file format. It was represented in that format as most likely some sort of arc segment, and the fill color of that arc segment and the stroke color of that arc segment could potentially override the colors of would override the colors of a model if the model was composed of special so-called marker colors. And so there's these special color codes, and in fact I can even show you in Color Manager here what they are. Oh, somewhere. Where are they? Actually I think it's hard-coded in the header here. So yes, zero opacity. They're all zero opacity because the original game didn't have an alpha channel. But yeah, the first marker color is this FE, 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 which I believe is, just 254 red, 254 green, 254 blue. And then marker color 1, or whatever, the second marker color was just 254 red, and then everything else was empty. And so if models had polygons that were those colors, either of those colors, if it was this color, it would be whatever the fill color of the arc segment would replace the color of those polygons with that fill color. So this is essentially an off-white color, and so if the model had a polygon of that color, and then you place a blue arc segment, those polygons would then be blue. To say it a little bit more simply, and then if it had polygons that were this color, this red color, bright red, it would replace those polygons with whatever the stroke color of the arc segment was. And it was restricted. I mean, they were essentially hamstrung and restricted to these two marker colors because of the nature of the format, that it was, a picked file format, and there was a fill color and a stroke color, and that was it. And so, what I did is I essentially doubled that, and created two new marker colors, because we're no longer constrained by the picked format. We have an XML-based format at the moment for map files, and so theoretically we can have as many marker colors as we want, but you don't want to go too ham, I guess. And especially because you could theoretically have all kinds of collisions with all the third-party content that was created for the game. If somebody created a model with the specific color that you use, then you potentially have something of an issue to deal with. And so I hey Rico, what's up? So yes, I kept it conservative, and I think restricting the marker colors somewhat so that models can only, really a model can have as many colors as you want, but if you want it to be have colors that can be overridden by the level designer, you have to restrict it to the number of marker colors. And so, you know, the I think in order to facilitate keeping the spirit of Avara's like art direction, I think limiting the number of colors is actually probably a good thing. Um, but the main motivation was for me to like be able to like have like models of trees that had where you could like override the trunk color in case you wanted it to be birch or oak or whatever, and then like up to 3 colors for leaves in case you wanted it to be like a tree in autumn or whatever, that you would have that variety, and be able to have one that was mostly yellows and oranges or whatever, or you could have some that were some were green, some were yellow, some were red on the same tree. That was the main motivation. But then I realized, but this also enables us to do whole colors. So the marker colors I chose, the second one, this is the blue color of the cockpit of a normal, whatever the base holes are, and a lot of custom holes that third-party developers or designers created use those same colors, which is nice. And then this is the color for the gun barrels, which again I saw repeated by third-party model creators, and so it seemed like a pretty good choice to enable this sort of feature, but also get us the flexibility to have more color variation or overrideable colors on models, to enable just more options for designers. So it's a lot of backstory. I don't even remember how I got here. Oh, right. So I was editing preferences, right? And so if you'll notice, the only colors I really talked about, well, so far with regard to whole colors is, this is the marker that is used for the main whole of the built-in BSP shapes. This is the color for the cockpit for the built-in BSP shapes, and this is the gun color. This marker color is not used on the built-in whole BSPs at all. But I like the idea of that being an option. That whole colors could have that, and that would also be a customizable color. And so as part of this work, I want to not only define a whole color, but I guess I'll call it like whole trim color. And this won't, again, this isn't gonna affect the built-in BSPs, but we could potentially, as an example, like Avara Aftershock, and in fact, let me see if I can get Avara Aftershock on the Wayback Machine here. I wonder if this actually still works. It does. There's all these shapes that have this these like darker gray colors, just different colors, and so I wonder about sort of patching the Aftershock resource file, and changing some of those colors to that second marker color, so that they will be customizable by the player. because that would be rad. So I don't really know what a good default is. I would have to be able actually, so here's what I'm gonna do. I am going to try to do some detective work here, because I think somewhere I might have Aftershock. I do. So let's go ahead and copy that to the desktop, I guess. Why not? And I'm gonna unzip this thing. Actually, hold on. Let me try that again. But I will use the unarchiver because I think that works better. Maybe. Application PowerPC. And then I'm gonna. Oh wait. Hold on. Let's because I also have I'm actually going to put that in downloads instead. Move. But let's look at Avara, bin. I don't recall, what is it called? Level set to resource? Is that it? The dumb thing I wrote? I think so. So let me run. So it's level set to resource. So let me open up and then some downloads, Avara, Aftershock. Actually, hold on. Let me see what this. Okay, yeah, I guess I had it right. Downloads, Avara, Aftershock, 1.5. Let's not do that actually. Well, I'm not positive that that worked. Let's shoot. Hold on. Move this into okay. Shoot. Actually, okay. I'm gonna figure this out. Okay, yeah. That's just odd that I didn't. It's like not showing up in the downloads folder, but. So let's go ahead and do this, and I'm gonna actually call this aftershock.r. So let me move this into levels. So, okay, there's aftershock.r. Now I'm going to run, well, hold on. Virtual ins, Avara, bin, activate. Bin. Ugh. Standby. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to convert the old game's resource fork into the new format so that I can inspect it a little bit easier. But first, I have to build HSND to wave for some reason. It's because it's trying to convert the sound files to log files, but sometimes I just want to not worry about the sounds and convert levels or BSPs or whatever. Of course, it's building everything in the universe. I don't think that's required to convert sounds, but okay. Let's try that again. This is going to chug away for a little bit. I'm going to get another cup of tea. I'll be right back. Jeez. It's just peppermint tea. Ooh, look at all those BSPs. I'm actually really tempted to yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna see what happens when I try to load an aftershock level. We won't be able. Oh, well, it doesn't show up in the. Oh, because I didn't build the game. I think, right? That would be a problem. So we still only can select light, medium, or heavy holes. Oh, yeah, I really don't know what this is gonna do. But we will. find out. Well, I am a hole of some kind. Sweet. Oh. That's funny. Yeah, the traction and friction hack that was previously required to keep walls from exploding. Ah! Ah! Yes, we're gonna have to. I think we're gonna have to. You know, when we have engine support for multiple holes and stuff, we're still gonna have to go in and I think patching Aftershocks resources is gonna have to be pretty necessary for a couple reasons. One, to, you know, fix these issues, but is this the snipe? Oh, nope, this is the enforcer hole. That's interesting that the gun color, or yeah, I think is getting applied to part of the hole here. I pointed out. Oh, actually, I guess I could. Well, okay, hold on. Let me do it this way. 5. Whoa! Jesus Christ! Okay, this may not work. I may not be able to demonstrate this. Okay, yeah. Yeah, it's not going to happen. But, yeah, it looked like some of the whole parts were... This is, I think, the... Commando? Interesting. Okay, so yeah, the outer... I mean, I guess that makes sense, I think. Yeah. But maybe that inner color would be the darker gray would be a good candidate for like the default trim, because I think it might be the same color as that's a far away incarnator. But yeah, like the dark gray parts on the center of the hole here, I think might be the same dark gray as appears here. I would have to check, but let's do that. But yes, it's interesting that I can load these levels up, and you know, there's obvious problems, but oh boy. Whoa. Sweet. Cool. The helicopter seems to work pretty well. We weren't sure if it still would. Anyway, alright, so I do want to try to figure out... You know, it converted and they looked great, but now let's look up, see if we can figure out what the identifiable colors are. So this is work that I wasn't really planning on doing on stream, but okay, so hole 0, so this goes 128, 129, 130. This would be why movement is all funky, but I bet if I just took those out, it would work pretty well. Oh, well, that's weird. There's no hole 2? That's wild. All right, anyway, what bunch of amateurs did this? Um, okay, so anyway, 128, 129, 130 are the holes that I looked at, presumably. Um, so now let's look at let's see. So these are all sounds. Where are the holes? That's interesting. Starts with the 129. Hole res 217. If BSP viewer wasn't broken, I could do this, but sadly it's not working. What a drag. Okay. Let me think about what a random collection of resource IDs. Well, at least I guess that's true. I can just look at the specs here and figure out who is who. So this is definitely that enforcer hole. And yeah, I think this is the this would be the sniper. Infantry probably. Oh wait, this is like another. Oh, this is probably, yeah, maybe one. One is the gunner and one is the sniper, I suppose. But yeah, let's look at the one with missiles and a sniper, which I think is this one. So whole res ID 2070. Dang, it's a lot of color codes. Okay. And then I'm going to open up Python and say so that is a gray 2B 2B 2B. Whoa. Probably pretty well. I don't know. It's not light. It's definitely darker than I expected it to be. So that's the one that ends in 9179. So let's just skip those. Okay, here's another one. So this would be the cockpit blue color. This is another new one, I think. Six, 7, 6, 7, 6, 7. So that's darker. Or that's lighter? Oh, that's... Okay, no, that makes perfect sense. Man, okay, my brain. So that's interesting. Gosh. 759, 759, 759. I believe we already did 9179. Yes. Is that the 6759? Yeah. Just for verification. Okay, yes. This is probably another marker color. So that's the gun. The normal, like what would normally be the gun gray, I believe. Let me verify that. Yeah. So that's the. So yes, I was not hallucinating, and some of those colors were being replaced by the gun color I had set. So far, either this dark gray or this lighter gray is maybe a potential default trim color. Let's just keep looking. Is this the... Okay, yeah, that's the that was the cockpit color. 6759, we've seen that one. This is a new one, but this is probably the first marker color. Yes, it is. 6759, 6759. The 4222. One too many twos. Okay. That looks different. This might be like the red lights on the back. No? 3B, 3B, 3B. So that's another gray color. Oi. Why is there yet another gray color? Okay. Is this another one? Shoot. This is okay, this is like the red sort of brake light looking thing on the back of it. 9, 6, 7, 7, 8, yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I think I'm relatively good looking at that one. So what was another option? Let's look at 128. Oh wait, no, that's the artillery hole. That doesn't really have. So let's look at this one, 215. This should be the infantry hole, which, do I still have the tab open? I do not. But this should be this one. And so I'm curious. What colors we'll find there. Okay, so let's look at 6. That gray, probably that color. But what about this? Is that the same? I don't know. Yeah, Bobsky's the one who made a lot of these holes, if not all of them, these models. Yeah, let's look at the 215. $9179. I think that was, so that's the 2B. Dark gray, which honestly kind of makes me just feel like, okay, I should just use that one as the default trim color. God, so many polygons in these holes, compared to a lot of other ones. Oh, okay, yeah, no, that's the marker color. 9313. Did we find that one? We did not. Five one. So that's probably, if I had to guess, the cuff on the gun barrel there. Does that look right? Potentially. When lit. All right. So I think, let me look at the commando hole. Because that's kind of the main one I had in mind when thinking about trim color. So that would be, oh, hold on. This one, 2072. Okay, yep, that's the dark gray. That's the marker color. 867? Did we? Yeah, okay. So that's the 3B. Can I, let me see if I can, yeah, is that just like part of the, I don't know. Real hard to tell here. 6759. Yep. So that would be like the inner gray, I think. Okay, yeah. These holes have too many colors. Too many distinct colors. 1867. Yeah, that's the okay. And yes, I could just go through these. Too much. But I think I'm just going to say, God, what would be the most appropriate? Let me investigate something else real quick. Oh, I don't want to. Okay, hold on. Okay, this is the only copy of the game I have loaded. Okay, I was going to say maybe the sort of underside of the cockpit is a different color, sort of like it is in all the aftershock holes, but they're not. At least not on the light hole. Let me look on all of them. But, yeah. Very uniform. And I'm guessing this will be the same. Yes. So, what do I think? I mean, you know, obviously these don't have any sort of trim on them in the first place. But if they did, what would be a good fourth color for, you know, the normal sort of look? I mean, I would guess another gray color, but would it be a super dark gray? I don't know. I'm leaning towards the this one. So I'm gonna kind of, you know, put that in my. Well, actually, I guess I define it here anyway. So whole color. God, what would a good default whole color be? That's a good question. Okay. Player whole color tag. This is the default whole color. I'm gonna not think about that for a second. Whole trim color tag. But this is gonna be that 2B, 2B, 2B. Isn't that like the name of the, like 2B, isn't that the name of the like character in that, what is it, Nier Automata game or something? I've never played it, so. Anyway. I don't really want to set a default. I want it to just default to using the team color um, until somebody overrides it. I'm trying to think of how I want to represent that in the prefs file. Um, None, just default. Let me think about that. I'm going to use the restroom real quick. Um, I'll be right back. Right. So I think I'm just going to look for the string default as meaning no override. This one makes the most sense to me. But Everything else just seems too loaded or confusing. So I'm going to go with that. So now the preferences are wired up. Let me now open up player config. Which is a, do I have it open? No, I don't. Okay. Is it under net? No. Is it under game? It is. Okay. Okay. Okay, so player config record is basically the data that gets sent over the wire to tell other players what, whether you're light, medium, or heavy hull, your LT settings, and now all these 4 colors that you want. Technically, we're sending this too, which is like, because in the original game you could set how many grenades, missiles, or boosters you wanted to start with. We don't really offer that option in the port, and so I'm tempted to rip those out. But I'm not going to worry about that right now. For the time being, I'm just going to ignore it, but maybe after I get this initial work committed, maybe I'll go in and clean that up, just so that player config record can be smaller. So we're sending less data over the wire because we just frankly don't even need this data. Nobody ever lowered their ammo counts below the max. That would be a silly thing to do. So I don't feel compelled to support that feature, but um, so this is good. Let me God, that's tricky. Again, I'm running into issues with the what if people don't want to set a custom color, just use the team color, right? Um, because ultimately, um, the way that it works, um, well, yeah, I mean, I was gonna check to see if it's set to default, and if it's default, just pass over the team color in the player config record. um, set it for the player based on whatever their current team is. However, um, if their color is changed by the level when the game starts because they are forced to incarnate in a different position, because I mean, again, as I discussed earlier, theoretically, that's not really possible anymore because of the random incarnators, um, which is frankly kind of a problem, but not one I know how to solve offhand, um, which is why I haven't. But it's hard to know what the right design choice is. But I think theoretically that's supposed to be possible. That the game is like, okay, well, this person is green, but it only allows teams of blue or red, and so make them blue or red. Theoretically, that should be possible, but they would have already sent over this custom color. But then again, I suppose in that scenario they would be masked, which means that they would be forced into that team color anyway. So I actually think this is okay. So let me the question is, can I tell at this point what the person's color is meant to be? Well, okay. Let's not worry about that immediately. I'm going to start with the trim color. Okay, player whole trim color tag. So parse that, or set it to whatever the marker color is if it's not in the preferences, but it should be, or if it's not a valid color string, I guess it would also default to the default marker color. That's all well and good, but yes, here I need to do a little bit more of a complicated test than I'm doing So if G application this returns a string, right? Yeah, standard string. Okay. So, and then shoot, hold on. I want to really quickly look up. Oh God. The proper way to compare strings. I mean, this seems fine. I could do it that way. But ultimately, I think it seems like I can just do normal compare operator. So if it's the default, I need to get the while I'm here, I'm gonna do this. Whoops. Okay. Where was I? Player manager. See player manager. color. Okay, so I think that's all I need. No more was I? Net manager. Yes. So let me go ahead and actually move this up. And then if it's the default, then config dot whole color equals color manager get team color for oh my god, the player manager player color, because this, yeah, okay, so if it's default, then we set the whole color to the team color set for the player manager, and this is like an index, like just an integer value between, in this case, like 1 to 8, and if for whatever reason there's no color defined, then it just defaults to the marker color, but that shouldn't happen. But this will make the compiler happy. But if it's not default, then we try to do this, which would be config whole color equals color parse whole color. So we've already gotten the string, and if it can't parse that, then we want it to hold on, let me reformat this a little bit. Although really, I would. Shoot. I would rather default again to the team color. So, um, really, I could probably just. You know, um, oh shoot, is default a? I'm not sure if it is or not. What the I've got an idea, but let me look at this here. See color. Where's the color parser? Is that a GUI? I don't think so. You know, oh, Ender? Yeah, there it is. Okay. Okay, well, not here. Definitely. Okay, so there's some named colors, but nothing named default. So I think this would work. The idea I have in mind, which is essentially grab this and okay, hold on. I'm gonna comment this out because I think I can actually do this similar to how I did the other stuff. So that, or yeah, ultimately that, but oh, I see. But ultimately, okay, so there's the whole color tag. Oh, I see though. That's the problem is I can't chain those together. So it would have to be in here. that's right. So basically it'll try, so it'll try to parse the string, but because the string default is not a valid color value, it'll first try to just use the player's team color, and if that fails, because I don't know, it's somehow invalid, which it shouldn't be possible, but if it is, it'll still fall back to the marker color, and if for whatever reason the application isn't instantiated, it'll yeah, do that as well. Although I should yeah, should replace that so that again it will default to the player color if possible. So that's cool. That's definitely a big deal. Let me look for player config record, make sure I haven't yeah, that I'm not missing something here. Don't think so. Receive, okay, yeah, receive config, but that doesn't set any colors or anything. This does all the copying. I already made that up to date with the new fields. Config player, this is something that needs to be updated. Oh wait, no. Get raw. Okay. But yes, what I'm looking for now is where it actually sets applies the colors. Trying to find that spot in the code. Make sure I am not missing anything funky. I think this is, yes. And then just out of curiosity, config. Okay. So yes, right here. Really, I want now to just replace this with config cockpit color with AOXFF. Wait, no, not cockpit color. What am I doing? Trim color. So we're applying it there. Here it is applying the team color, which is the default, but now we want to find the that special color control thing I talked about, and conditionally, yes, apply the special color. So let me, that's in the player manager. Well, this is where it gets called. And that's all good. So here, special color control. It's the default, and this is the, okay, yeah. So now the question is, where's C Player Manager H? Here we go. Does this have access to the configuration? So if I were to, where's the configuration here? Yes, so that just returns the configuration, which so the private, where's the private property for that? Yeah, it's just okay. So I think all I have to do here in special color control is well, hold on. Okay, so it's player set special color, and then I just need to easy way to custom Hector stuff. You mean to change the colors? Oh, yeah. So I was asking when you say eventually be an easy way to custom Hector stuff, are you just talking about changing the colors? Oh. Oh, apparently I've dropped a lot of frames in the last, well, I have no idea how long. But maybe I'm having issues all of a sudden. I mean, it still says 0.1%, but I've been streaming for 2 hours, so. Okay. Well, right now you have to do it via prefs file or the pref command, but yes, I mean, theoretically in the future we could do a GUI thing, but I don't know, a GUI color picker might be kind of involved. So I don't know. But you know, to get hex color codes or whatever, you can always search for hex color on Google, and you get this little color picker, and you can just, you know, find whatever color you fancy and grab the, you know, color value and set your prefs that way. Always an option. Well, the build succeeded, so it's possible I'm done. We'll see. At least with getting the functionality done, I'm still considering cleaning up the player config record at some point, but okay, so that just says default, which is what I expected. Trim color. Is that what I called it? Yeah, whole trim color. 2B, 2B, 2B. Okay. And then just out of curiosity, yep. And this should be C4, C4, C4. Yeah. Okay. So, in theory, I should start the game and just be my normal team. Nope. Something did not work there. Oh, but that did. That's weird. Let's try that again. That's peculiar. Must be the init value. What happens if I try to change the color? Will it immediately take effect? Nope, it will not. It only does it on the second load. Well, that's not good. But that may be related to, well, okay, let me try this. Let's just do that real quick. So this should make me black. Nope. There. Okay, so it's possible I missed code somewhere. I might have to look at the old pull request and see. Oh, it still says Team 7. Yeah. Okay, well, let me look at the color manager again. So 3E, 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 and E6, E6, E6. So that's 24%, 90%. Oh. So like, let's see what halfway in between that would be. 919191. Oops. Again, apply it. Okay. Yeah, it's weird. It's not not applying at first. Oh, well that applied that time. But not that time. Oi. Okay, well, that is really odd. Let me do a search for like gun color. That's interesting. That shows up in my project. Anyway, okay. Yeah. Full trim cockpit gun. Full trim cockpit gun. Yeah. So is it just something to do with the fact that it, like the special, it's like whether or not the configuration is set, is my guess. It must be not updating. That's what the only thing that makes sort of sense. So something to do with that. Well, I mean, that's definitely my guess. The configuration is not getting set on the player manager immediately. That's good. I don't know if you saw, but it's sort of working, but it takes like a second. It's like you have to play 2 games or whatever before the color change shows up, and I'm pretty sure because the configuration is not getting sent immediately. Although I'm curious, well, yeah, I don't think that would make a difference. It's not like the biggest deal in the world, but it is annoying. Well, especially if it affects the first run, which I bet it does. Yeah, that's a problem. Okay. Borked. I wonder if I can. Yeah, it's tricky. the default configuration here? I think I have it somewhere in here. Okay. Now where was that in Net Manager? Where I have, I think so. Actually, yeah. So let me, change this up a little bit. Where's... Okay. Let's just do shoot. Yeah. Where's parse? There it is. That's static. So make like a static. Yeah, pretty much. Updating your preferences either via text editor or the chat commands. You can use hex codes. You can use some other CSS color formats and things like that, and we also have some custom color syntax as well. But yes, I mean hex colors is the most straightforward. Oh wait. Data manager. We're using G application, which is actually a C application pointer. Oh hell. Right. Oh fuck. Okay, that's not really it. I can't really do it this way. Where was that? That would be player manager, but during the init process. know, but like... Okay, let's actually move this. To... And the player... Well... Okay, well, when does receive... config actually called here on the... It's applied to the player. I actually wonder if I can just do it here. Come to think of it. Where was I here? Did I change anything? I don't think I did. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's fine. I should probably put that space count thing back in and under net disconnect. Where was that? That was... Between player name and player reg name. That's kind of a weird place for it, but... Okay, that's better. Now, my idea on the net manager here is to just do the player manager borrow that. So let me, there's the whole, okay, yeah, there's that crap that doesn't matter. Hold type, frame latency, frame time. Hold type, frame latency, frame time. And then the 4 colors, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I try to apply it to my ID or whatever, my player. So I think that actually may be enough to do what I'm trying to do and update the local data from my local config. And it may be that the data is being transmitted, even before I did this, that the data was being transmitted over the wire just fine. It just wasn't being applied locally. Oh, wait a second. I probably ought to move. Okay, hold on. Because they're doing more config manipulation down here, where this is where we're actually hard coding it to be the whole max. So I'm gonna actually do that here. After that is set, then I send it over, or whatever, store it locally, then broadcast it out to friggin' everybody. So let's try that. Let's pray. Actually, you know what? This is stupid, but I'm gonna, because we're basically doing the same check here, I'm just gonna go ahead and move it there instead. I guess this is actually where it's blasting the config record, but so I'm not sure what this really does here, but I may move it back up if this doesn't work, and see if that makes a difference. But nobody chiming in the development channel, to be clear. Doesn't really. Last real check-in. Oh, like the hotel check-in. Okay, so let's see here. What am I set to? Let me do something more. Oh, that's probably true. I probably didn't force it to. That's probably. Special color control. What? Oh, is that in here? What the fuck is that? Alright. Enjoy. I'm probably not going to be up much longer anyway. Okay, anyway. So let me set this to something a little bit more obvious, whether or not it works. God damn it. Yeah, still no. I really thought I was on to something there, but let me. I don't know. Do it here. I don't think that's really going to make a difference, but I did also fix that issue here where I make sure that the whole color is opaque. Seawalker actor, I don't. Yeah, so here I'm setting it to. Yeah. That's where I lock the opacity. So now I am locking here as well. Still not working. is certainly really frustrating. And I really thought I had it, but apparently I did not. But I need to go to bed. Hopefully I can pick this back up tomorrow. Maybe even get extra eyes on it, but oh, wait. Oh. Yeah. Well. I'm just gonna do this for some reason. Because I'm a fool. Okay. Yeah, so confirmed. Still didn't do anything, but thank you for tuning in. Sad I didn't finish. This is a fairly significant bug that needs to be worked out with what I'm doing. But yeah. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and go to bed. So again, thank you for watching. Good night.